And speaking of bros, welcome to Apples. This is Apples and Oranges. We've done
This is
it.
Apples and Oranges. This is a podcast where we introduce ourselves properly at the beginning of every episode.
Yep. And we also...
My name is Matt.
Yep. My name's Jack. And not only... I guess I'm talking to this camera, and you're talking to that camera.
Yeah. This is our podcast where we do funny little debates. And you'll hear more about that later.
And, well, just for the newer listeners, because you will be listening because you're new here, because you're intrigued by the premise, you're intrigued by Matt and Jack, you're intrigued by the clips. Maybe it's a clip with Myles, our guest today, Myles Murphy, amazing comedian, amazing writer, performer, multi-talented king. Maybe the clip drew you in, his wits, but the premise of the show...
Before Myles can get a word in here.
Don't even introduce yourself, Myles. You're a set piece for right now.
If you dare say like hi,
no, you're out. This is a podcast about comparing disparate topics and debating their worth. It's apples and oranges, the saying how it goes. And
so apples and oranges is a classic American idiom.
Yep.
That refers to the concept of two things being incomparable.
Yeah.
Because they're different, much like apples and oranges. Anywho, happy to have you here, Myles.
Myles, welcome to the show.
Right, thank you for having me.
But seriously though, thank you for coming.
Actually, seriously, thank you though. We had to basically. I saw a TikTok, not to sidetrack you again, but we're gonna have to sidetrack you again. Saw a TikTok, shout out My Basement Studio, where they were like, "Yo, your podcast, you're not introducing yourself in the first 30 seconds. Like you're just losing listeners," and that really stung to me. And it just was like, oh, because we just bullshit so hard on this podcast, or have been as of late.
And those people, Maxim and Connor, another two people that I would be crushed to find out they were disappointed in me.
They are the big bros.
So I would never want to disappoint these people. So what I'm going to do is instead disappoint you by not really giving you the room to shine at the beginning of your podcast.
No. You're about to shine. You just came in here. We sat you down. We got you water.
You did get me water. Thank you. Very much.
We made sure but I'm more saying that it was a rushed thing, And so now we're we can loosen up. We just wanted to set the groundwork for the newer listeners.
Yeah, I think we're killing it thus far.
I think we are too. I think this is our best episode ever.
Yeah.
So we'll be comparing disparate topics, you said?
Yes, but we'd honestly like to know what is your debate experience?
What's my debate experience?
Formal or informal? What's your relationship with debate?
Yeah.
I would say I shied away from debate kindergarten through 7th grade. And upon the release of the Life of Pi, if you recall that film, I grew quite enamored with the art of debate in the lunchroom. As you might remember, at the end of that movie, that particular film, there's a bit of a tease, a bit of a question posed to the viewer. Was what you just saw real, or was it a metaphor for humans? I don't know. You've seen The Life of Pi. And I forget which stance I took, but I argued it quite passionately.
Were you kind of understood as the victor of this?
I would say it was a draw. It was a draw. Lunch ended. Yeah. But I do remember that one day. High school, I ran for class vice president, but we didn't have debates. You just gave a speech and then people voted. But I was ready.
You were a regular JD Vance.
I was a regular JD Vance.
Yeah. I always said this. You should have been a country singer. This is a bit from off mic. Before we started recording, I was saying JD Vance should have been a country singer. I just think he's got the name for it. I think he's got the look for it. I think people wouldn't be constantly making fun of him if he were just a pop country singer. Nevertheless, you were a regular him.
I was a regular him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also think preparing a speech is actually useful for this podcast because the format of the debate, which we've never explained before, is that there's an opening statement given by each participant, picked at whoever goes first. And then, the floor's open. They go at each other. There might be some questions from the moderator, rarely. And then there's a closing statement. And so those opening and closing statements are effectively a speech in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It's extemporaneous speech. So did you do any of those on the fly?
I totally know what that word means as well, so I can answer this question.
It's Matt's word of the day. Extemporary. Matt, can you actually spell that for me?
EXTEMP.
Yep.
ER.
I'll give you a retry on that. E if you want to buy another vowel.
Extemp. AR?
OR.
Extempore.
Shit.
Extemporaneously.
Yeah.
I fucking blew it.
No. I mean, once again, we failed the big bros. This is spelling bee champ.
Oh, the big
The
bros.
hunch. The hundo has once.
Once again bested the hunchback. This is our current dynamic for the show. In like 105 or so, or 95 episodes, we can retest this. But currently, he's the head hundo and I'm the head hunchback.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah,
and we've actually immortalized ourselves in 2 figurines.
Oh my
here.
goodness.
Yeah.
Matt, of course,
is the dancing raisin.
Yeah, and that's me, the sage Buddha. Buddha / Mogwai.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's something about us. I really think that you're gonna have some really great expertaneous moments in both y'all's debates. Are we ready for some topics? Or do you have any questions or anything else you'd like to share?
I'd still love a definition on extemporaneous.
Oh, of course. Spoken or done without preparation.
Oh.
An extemporaneous speech.
Extemporaneous.
Yeah. I'm sort of an extemporaneaire, some would say, in the way that I am amazing at doing things without preparation. So call me an improviser.
Guy's like pitching improv for the first time.
Yeah. It's like that scene in the internship when Vince Vaughn is like pitching Instagram, but he's just using different words. And he's like, no, you don't get it. Like, where you can upload photos on the line. And like, no, Vince Vaughn, like, that's actually a fire scene. That movie's underrated. Shout out. Isn't the internship?
Yeah. And the intern is with Robert De Niro.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was referring to.
Robert De Niro.
And Anna Hathaway.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I may do an internship.
Yeah. Anywho, I've got 2 topics if we're ready for them. Was there any final thoughts, Matt, going in?
Final thought is to my big bros, I'll spell better for you next time.
Let's go. Big bros, if you're watching, you're the big bros.
Yeah.
All right, Myles, you're going to debate in favor of a fast food chain of your choice.
Ooh.
And Matt, a country of your choice. And I can vamp in the meantime while y'all think. You can.
I got it.
You've got it? Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I've got it. It came to mind just from witnessing before this recording. I was witnessing you editing a vertical, and there was mention of the country that I'm going to choose right now, and it's such a great country because it's Greece. It's Greece. What an amazing, fantastic history. Ancient Greece, so influential. They really like paved the way for a lot of things. People say they're the beginning of like Western civilization. And whether or not that's the case, there's certainly the food amazing, the views amazing. Name a more like beautiful country to actually like look at the nature of. It seems nice to hang around, like temperature wise and just in general. It seems like, I don't know, a decent place to live all in all. And my choice is and I think Greece very there's a lot to it, and I would say their food, just to be more specific, is a lot better than like any old fast food. So I yield my time.
All right, Myles, your fast food chain.
I'll be debating in favor of Sonic, the fast food chain. I would say, can you think of a faster way to deliver food than on rollerblades? I cannot. So the employees across the nation who work at Sonic are dedicated to truly fast food. You park your car, they come careening out with a tray full of hamburgers and French fries, bring it right to your door. Sonic food experience, I think, speaks for itself. As you can see, like in any Sonic commercial, there's no, mascots, silly cartoons, over-the-top production. It's 2 guys sitting in a car waiting for their Sonic. 2 guys, like one of the guys is like, you've seen him in something. He's like a comedian. He doesn't have a name in the commercial because the commercial is just about Sonic. Sonic speaks for itself. And frankly, Greece, like, I don't know. Are we throwing punches yet?
No. If you open the floor, if you'd like. No, actually, no, you can throw punches in the opening statement. We do that all the time.
I think you can throw a punch
Yeah,
or
throw
two in
some
the
punches.
I'm
opening
gonna keep it
statement.
respectful, but
You can do so.
my blood is boiling already.
Oh
So
my goodness. Yeah, run it up.
Greece, frankly, is a bit past its prime. I'd say it's a bit dilapidated. Every picture you see from Greece, it's no full standing buildings. Every Sonic I've ever been to, roof is present, 4 walls. They're making food. Greece, it's like the most famous parts of Greece are at best 50% standing.
I think if we want to talk about, so is the floor open? Floor open. Sounds like the floor is open.
Yeah, it's open. Let's go.
If we're doing like, I think talk about like dilapidated. Like when you think of like what is like a fast food place, a place that can like feed like a country, like they need to be somewhere, like they need to have numbers and they need to be like ubiquitous. Otherwise, it's just like shitty food, and like they are so not. They're like only in like what, like where would you say their range is? Like the American Northeast, perhaps, but their numbers are slim. They're thinned out. They like I grew up in the New York area with ads for Sonic. Never seen a Sonic in my life. So like those ads are lost on me. I would have to travel so far just to get like a subpar hotting dog. Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, if we're talking about traveling far, Greece is, I'd say, much farther away from us presently than the nearest Sonic. And I'm willing to bet at least $50 upon that wager. I see ads for Greece, not every day, but often. I've never been to Greece. I have no plans to travel to Greece. So if we're talking about an accessibility issue, I'd say Sonic is just a short Uber away.
I think we have access to Greece constantly through like everything around us that came from the Greeks. I have constant access to Greece. What with our amazing waterways? Can't get enough of those waterways. See a waterway? Can't forget about it. We've got great waterways, and they're inspired by the Greeks. Democracy, or what's left of it. It was going great for a while, or not so much. But point is,
a failed experiment, I'd say.
We got that from them. I think there are other democracies on the world that are flourishing in a way we just simply aren't. And it's because America did its own America-style version of democracy, and it has it's showing its problems. But democracy, hey, that's a great idea. Pretty good. We live by that. I feel like I don't live by Sonic in any capacity. Sonic is like an invisible thing to me. It is a concept. I've seen ads for it, and I go, okay, there are places that exist where people apparently eat something called Sonic. I don't know what is it hot dogs? Is that their thing? Or is it that like Sonic the character eats like chili dogs?
It's Sonic the character completely divorced, I believe. I think there's no relationship whatsoever.
So they just serve like burgers like everywhere else, like chicken burgers and like hamburgers.
Like hamburgers, chicken burgers, fries.
So they have like nothing special really either. Whereas like Greece is like a pretty special country. I feel like they're in like a pretty special location. They're in like the heart of the Mediterranean. Oh my goodness.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sonic, much as you said, I do think it's sort of a little bit out of reality. It is sort of this magical, distant place. You say you've never been, and me neither. But I think it does exist, sort of beyond your day-to-day monotony. McDonald's, you turn every corner, there's a McDonald's. It's not special. You go to Greece, there's a McDonald's. It's not special. But a Sonic, should you ever come upon a Sonic, I think you'd take a moment and say, "Oh my goodness, there's a Sonic here," and it would be quite special, special indeed.
It would be all right. I'd like snap a picture of it.
Exactly. I wouldn't take a picture if I happen to be in the Acropolis. There's a million pictures of the Acropolis. We don't need another picture of the Acropolis.
You and you alone. Everyone else would be taking like a million pictures of the Acropolis, or just one little. If you get any, like one little photo of the Sonic, but everyone's always taking photos while they're in Greece. So I wouldn't think, because everything there is beautiful and historical, and even like the dilapidated homes are still like charming and interesting, and they tell a story, and they're not like depressing. It's like an interesting type of dilapidation.
An interesting type of dilapidation.
It tells a tale, and that tale I don't think is particularly depressing. I say, knowing very little about the states of these dilapidated homes. No one talks about Greece. Greece is fine.
Greece is fine. Recall, if you will, the 2010 financial crisis. Year checked incoming.
Greece they were having a bad time financially, and you know what? They got bailed out, and they're booling, and now they're doing a lot better than some of the countries. Greece's economy, and like Greece and Italy, proved everyone at the European Bank Fund or whatever wrong. They just like grew and are doing great and learned no consequences. And Germany's like suffering. Germany's falling apart at the hinges, and Greece is booling. They won that like fight
by being reduced to mere beggars. On the other hand, have you ever seen a McDonald's bailout of Sonic? A Burger King bailout of Sonic? No, Sonic may not be booming in the same way, and perhaps they never will be, but you would never see them groveling on their knees. Sonic is a proud fast food chain.
Greece never did grovel. That's
Greece, I believe, fell bloodily to the Romans. Did they not?
Yeah, so everyone has a bad day. Sometimes the Sonic gets burned down.
I'm trying my darndest to recall any sliver of Greek history that might help me here from my 7th grade Greek class, but
you had a Greek class?
I believe it was called history. I think it was more broad than just Greece.
Oh, I see.
I had a similar thing. It's like
ancient history,
Rome,
Greece, and the like. Yeah.
Well, how to do a closing statement on this?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's dive into some closing statements. So, let's hear from Myles first because we had Matt open first.
Yeah, I guess I would just close by saying, something doesn't need to be popular to be good. Something doesn't need to be successful to be good. Something doesn't need to be tasty to be good. It just needs to be itself. And Sonic, unabashedly, forever, is itself. Sonic, and I didn't get to touch on this as much as I would have liked, but again, the rollerblades. What other modern restaurant chain has 16-year-old minimum wage servers on rollerblades bringing your burgers right to your car door? Certainly, I would think that in Greece, where the roads are a bit rockier, you won't find a single establishment with that opportunity. And I think that those little pieces of magic, such as your burger coming on rollerblades, are really what make life worth living. And some of those magic moments can be found at Sonic Burgers and Fries.
Wow. All right. So I didn't really get to, I was thinking as well, I didn't really talk about the rollerblades. Just in a word, reckless, unsafe. I'm not going to go much further than that.
No.
We're in closing statements now, buddy. So that's just all I got to say about that. But to really just summarize what this is Sonic, it's not perfect, but it's itself. You know what place is perfect and itself? Greece. I mean, come on. It's got perfect. It all. Absolutely perfect. Oh, by the way, we should have clarified. We're in closing statements now, so it's just one speech from each of us.
Oh, okay.
So the it's flawless. It's a place without flaw. It just gave us everything we have today and such delicious food. And Sonic gives us fast food of unknown quality. That generally means bad. And it's gimmicky, and there's very few locations, and they one can only imagine they're mid AF. And I'm gonna go my time.
Okay.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, these were some strong debates on both sides. And I really close. And I think I'm gonna give it to Matt though.
Really?
I think you came out at the end swinging, and I think at the beginning, I think he had you.
Yeah,
I thought you had. I don't know.
ropes.
It was just. Yeah, it was tough though.
Hmm?
But I also just feel like it's good karma because I shat on Greece earlier today.
So now you wanna show your support for Greece.
Just balance. Yeah. I don't want any beef.
With Greece.
No.
It's like that Simpsons episode where like all of Australia was against Bart. It's like that, just all of Greece.
I could see that happen.
You make an enemy out of an entire country.
Yeah.
Which country would we all want to?
Which one would I want to have my enemy? I would
yeah.
want. Where's Rihanna from?
Barbados?
Barbados. I think.
Barbados. Yeah, Barbados.
Mm.
I want to Barbados as an enemy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because I would go villain. I'd be like, I'm gonna buy Barbados, and just like go. I don't know, just evil genius on them.
Mm.
I'd be like Doofenshmirtz to Barbados. Yeah,
Doofenshmirtz, Barbados.
yeah, that's like an evil. That's like an equal match. Because if it was like Canada, I'd get killed probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could take on the Vatican.
No, you. I don't know. I would.
The soldiers,
or maybe you know what?
Don't they have like feather swords?
But I feel like the Vatican, I would associate with like spies and like
Catacombs.
weird shit where they're like, I'm a Catholic sleeper cell.
I think like Andorra would be, or what's that other one that's like tucked away in part of France?
Is it just like a landlocked spot, like a city state?
It's on the water, but it's like San Marino or something. Is that it?
There's 2 in France.
Monaco.
Monaco is what I'm thinking of. Anyway, I think I would like to take on Monaco. I think because I think it's all just for show in Monaco. I don't think there's. I think it's
not much bite.
not much bite.
It's all just for show in Monaco.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. I've got some topics right here, ready to jump right back in.
Also, Matt, I've been using the Notes app, if you so desire.
Oh, great.
Oh, I mean, on my laptop. So when you got that, like,
cheers,
you can
cheers,
see I've been doing some stuff, and I've been doing some. Feel free to use it. Like I was using the laptop to like look up some info. It felt engaging.
Nice.
Anywho, I'm ready for.
I'm
the
debating
topics.
you now.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
oh
should
my
make that
goodness.
clear. Yes,
On my toes.
It's not like I just got like an advantage now.
No.
The internet.
Yeah, so there's no break. You're just always debating in this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
You're always on.
Yeah.
Wasn't ready for
I
that.
hope you enjoyed that break. That was just happening right
Yeah.
there. It's over. Yeah. Well, now you're ready to think about
don't
something
worry.
entirely different.
Yeah, now new whole other thing.
All right, Jack, you're going to be arguing in favor of a character actor.
Character actor.
And
Ooh-wee.
Myles, you're going to argue in favor of a video game.
Video game.
Myles, are you a gamer?
I am really not a gamer.
Yeah, me neither.
I was a gamer until whatever came out after the original Wii.
Yeah, same. That's kind of where I like. I don't know. Did you do Minecraft?
I did Minecraft, but only creative mode, infinite flat world.
Nice.
Yeah. Computer games? Is that video games?
I suppose those are video games.
I'm trying to think of a video
What about
game.
like mind games or like
Any sort of game.
manipulations?
I shouldn't have mentioned any game at all while you're thinking of your. I realized that's breaking a taboo.
I'm trying
you
to
better not pick Minecraft or I'm fucked.
No, it's okay.
Of course not.
I'm trying to think about character actor. Would you accept Bob Odenkirk as a character actor?
Ooh. He's tiefling on the precipice, I believe.
Yeah. I think earlier in his career he was more of a character actor, and so I would count
Maybe.
it unless you really found it to be
Could we say
objectionable.
like pre 2010?
No, we can't. I mean, I think I'm
Has to be
just
all-inclusive.
gonna
All or
not
nothing.
remember the specifics necessary for this argument. But that's why I got to pick someone who I really know.
Do you find that to be objectionable? Bob Odenkirk is a choice.
I think once a character actor, always a character.
Yeah, let me do Bob.
I agree.
I'm doing Bob.
All right, hop in.
So, Bob Odenkirk, the GOAT, because all of his freaking roles, also just his sketch goatingness, being able to go from his range. He just proved his range over a long career, and it was never a thing where he was popping off like all at once. It was just this beautiful slow growth where we just have now realized after like 40 years, I don't know how old he is, but he's getting up there. Over 40 years that he is just one of the GOATs. and it can do anything from funny and like weird and like silly to like just straight action hero to like play insane characters like Saul. And I think a game is just a waste of time. That's all a game is. You know what they say. Jack, what happened? You're not in the games anymore. The games got too small for me. So I'll yield my time.
I'm going to be arguing in favor of Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports Resort takes place on the fictional island of, I believe it's called Oahu Island.
Nice.
And if it's not, it should be, because boy, is that place fun. Planes, golf, bowling, table tennis. What don't they have? Biking, canoeing. There's a 5x5 grid of games to play on Wii Sports Resort, and all of them are equally deserving of Wahoo, I would say.
Wow. All right, great
Amazing.
opening statements. I just your laptop's good. I don't know if the audience saw. I just spilled some water on your laptop, but your laptop's
Oh, no
good.
worries.
Well,
That's so lit. Well, look here. Let me
that's
just
so lit. The floor is open.
Okay,
Isn't this
what-
so fucking lit? The floor is open.
look. Let me start off by saying, fools you to choose an island because you know what I do to islands like Barbados. I'm notorious for being able to have successful feuds with them. So already a point off from your debate. I'll also say that the concept of going on a Wii to play a game that can be played outside and enjoyed with sensory enjoyment and like it's not like the Wii isn't taking you to outer space or somewhere you can't already go. You just go in the Wii and you do something you can do outside. Preposterous. Have some sense of proportion. And that is me coming out the gate, just drawing my sword, fish,
Ooh.
going crazy because I'm the head hundo. This is like my arc. I'm like. The
The power's going to your head.
I'm getting more cesarean every episode.
Is
Every
that why you
second.
have that like slice through your midsection?
It's true. That's why I sit like this, like Joffrey. We need a producer to like run around and like hand me things and feed me grapes. Let's see if we can get an intern, like a middle school intern for this summer. Podcast producer.
Oh, awesome. Would love that.
That'd be
It's
so
like,
funny.
come over for this 1 hour on this weeknight and just like record the podcast and like assist us while we do it.
Yeah, but the assisting would just be like, bring me the bong.
Where are the grapes? I don't see any
Where are my
grapes here. Oh,
grapes?
okay. Here's how much are grapes? Go buy grapes.
No, we would never treat an indentured child. No, I'm jesting. We the best music. Anyway, enough about this Wahoo Island. I think I've won this debate. Next challenger, please. This is part of my strategy. Declaring victory before it's been won.
Before Myles has said like anything.
I know. I'm gonna push back. I think you can absolutely do things that you can't do in real life on the Wii Sports Resort. For one, get in a dogfight in a plane.
That's kind of sick.
For two, have a sword fight on a in the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Oh, wow.
personally never been offered that opportunity. Bike through a volcano. The list goes on, but I think that if Wii Sports Resort Wahoo Island did exist in real life, I think it would almost be too awesome. There's too many awesome things to do on Wii Sports Resort, and that's why they had to put it in a video game. Bob Odenkirk, I do really like Bob Odenkirk. No, I don't. I hate Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Gotenkirk, more like.
Bob Oden poop is
Oh my god.
by far the most
Say it.
overrated actor that I've ever had an opinion about.
It's a fool. That's a bad take. That can't be the case.
Let's see. Name Name 20 movies that Bob Odenkirk's
in. Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody 2.
Mr. Nobody's the Jared Leto movie.
Is that Mr. Nobody? What is Nobody?
Yeah,
Look,
Nobody.
the point is, I don't need to list his IMDb. The viewers can look at it. It's illustrious. It's an illustrious career. And he's got plenty of goated roles, and there's not even, if anything, he's underrated. I bet he's got an Oscar in his sights. I could see him, like, in his 70s winning an Oscar gracefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a goated. Like, it's only up from here. And that's why he's an amazing character actor, because he didn't just peter out. He's always just slowly been in the rise. And I don't know if this game is that good. It hasn't been rebooted. It's never got, like, imagine, like, what does it accomplish in the time that Bob has been? Bob has been around far longer than Yahoo Island, whatever, was conceived by some foolish Nintendo programmer or creative, or honestly, it need not exist. It insists upon itself. Wii Sports Resort, it insists upon itself. And I think that's really just the that's not even the half of it, but I'll let my opponent speak.
I'll concede that Bob Odenkirk may have been around for some number of years before Wii Sports Resort, but I will say Wii Sports Resort will unfortunately be here long after Bob Odenkirk is no longer with us. And that is because it is timeless. Every time you take a trip to Wii Sports Resort, it's exactly as you left it. It never ages a day. The technology becomes more dated, but it will always be the perfect, beautiful island. Bob Odenkirk will get older and older, and his face will become wrinkled and grayed, and his hair will fray.
But he will be immortalized by his media. I would argue, I would bet $50 of my own dollars that Bob's
From your dollar hutch?
from my dollar hutch, the royal treasury of apples and oranges, some would say. But Bob's media legacy is going to last longer than Wii Sports Resort, because by the time the last Nintendo fizzles out and all that shit dies, there will be infinite Better Call Saul t-shirts, media, like that TV show is going to be rebooted. It's going to be clicked and clacked, and it's going to be live on for millennia. I give Wii Sports Resorts another 300 years, and I get Bob Odenkirk and his footprint. God, we haven't even begun yet. We're just starting to cook up with Bob. We don't even know what's next. I think Wii Sports Resort is out, and I think Bob Odenkirk is in, and that could just be my closing. But I won't make it because I'm ready. I'm still in the fight. I got it. I'm ready to go another 20 minutes on about Bob.
You feel nimble.
I'm quick. Jack, we know Jack be quick. Jack hasn't even talked about Bob and David yet.
Well, but Myles, do you have? So you're in think mode. Well,
again, racking my brain to. I know who Bob Odenkirk is, but I cannot think of a single other thing that he's in besides Better Call Saul. Which
maybe we should
have
run
not
down
seen.
just some so we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Some of Bob Odenkirk's
I
finest.
believe he was in The Post.
I think he was in The Post.
He had a role in The Post.
Oh, you know what? He was in The Post because they shot some of The Post in White Plains, New York,
Oh, wow.
right nearby where I grew
Did
up.
you see him IRL?
No, but some heard people did.
Rumor has it a man saw Bob Odenkirk. Yeah.
Let's see what he's been in. He was in something. Oh, it says here he's in The Incredibles 2. Let's check the IMDb page here. A little behind the scenes view. He was in Nebraska. He was in. Doing this wrong. Okay, here we go. Ooh, sorry, there was something wrong. Try again. Okay, here we go. Oh yes, he was in The Bear. Made many appearances.
Oh wait,
in Comedy
also,
Bang Bang.
you know what I'm wait. Hold on.
Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh damn, you know who I could have picked? I should have picked Sam Rockwell, because apparently he had a really good performance in the latest White Lotus.
Yeah.
I need to watch. I need to catch up. That's would have been a
That's
sleeper
pretty
pick.
crazy.
You hear about that?
Yeah,
Matt?
I heard about that. That he's in the new season.
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know if he's gonna come back or it's a cameo.
I
What
think
the fuck?
he is. Yeah.
Sick.
He's pretty sick though in general.
Yeah,
I love that it's like a
love
secret
Sam
casting.
Rockwell.
That's
He's
Yeah.
sick.
Just so much better than Bob Odenkirk.
No, not better.
Incredibles
Equal.
2, The Bear Season 3, Better Call Saul. These are all sequels. That's kind of where Bob Odenkirk shines.
That's
is
where a character actor lives.
remaking something that already existed. Wii Sports Resort, there is only one, there will only ever be one. That's because it was the perfect game. Needs no sequel, has no prequel, lives only in the present, no past or future.
But it is a game, and a man must strive for more. A man stretches himself across his life. And I think that the reason Bob Odenkirk was in all those movies is because he's a character actor. And even still getting cast in a lot of these mid movies, he shines. And he also created avenues for himself with Mr. Show. And he's goated. He wrote for SNL. He was in some sketches. He has an insane comedy career. He's a fire improviser. Is maybe just a top 5 sketch comedy writer of all time. He, even outside of acting, he's a master of fucking writing as well as performing. He's great. He's just such a good character actor.
Did you know that Wii Sports Resort, it's not only just the main island, there's a separate golf island that you go to play golf.
He's got me.
That does make sense.
It's actually a series of chain islands because they knew
they have an archipelago under their belt.
They have a full archipelago designed, coded. So you can swim out to and play golf.
This island is building other islands. Are we not worried about an international incident? Why are we what is giving Wii Sports Resort the power to build islands in the South China Sea? I mean,
whoa.
Where does this island located? It must disclose its location. Yeah, it's going to create an international incident. So Wii Sports Resort is a danger to society.
Wii Sports Resort is a haven for people of all nations to come to. It lives outside of a nation. It lives outside of a country. It's for everyone.
Oh, I see. It's
Bob Odenkirk, I believe, only speaks English.
Yes, but you know what? That gives other opportunities to artists to dub him over in movies like Nobody or Incredibles 2. Was that one?
Incredibles 2, yeah.
Yeah.
The Post.
The Post, yeah.
I heard someone say that they heard someone say he was there. He was in White Plains.
I believe it. I believe he was there.
Yeah.
They put Bob Odenkirk in White Plains, New York, allegedly.
That's like a LCD Sound System lyric. I was there when.
I think let's hear some closing statements.
Yeah, let's do some closers. Who I think.
Yeah.
I can go.
Yeah. I think you jumped right in.
The hundo. Yeah, I know. That's why I'd like to jump in again.
As you see fit. As you see fit.
As the hundo sees fit.
As the hundo sees fit.
I would like to just stay by. I think my closer just really sums it up as. I think. I did it better. I think I did a great job as debate. And I think I deserve a cookie or a toy. No, Bob is the GOAT. He really is just amazing writer, performer. And this wee island that we don't even know where it is, we don't even know who operates it. I think it had their Mossad ties to this island. I think it is a sus place. We should not go there. It is it's either a cult. It's like I don't know. Something fishy about this place. I don't trust it. Everything I said also applies to Barbados. They're my ops. And trying to do a water sound because I feel like it was just the rippling waves of Bob Odenkirk's career reminds me of water dropping on the on a pond or like a body of water, the way it ripples out into eternity. Whereas Wii Sports Resort will die with our generation. I yield.
I think in closing, Wii Sports Resort is greater than Bob Odenkirk. Kirk.
You're insulting him.
Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk at the end of the day, sure. Actor, yes. Writer, yes. Performer, arguably the same thing as an actor, sure. All of those things, those are such small actions. Acting, writing, these are one person in a room actions. You want to think about a grand action, an exciting action, an unbelievable action, I think flying a plane, landing it in the sea, dipping up, going through a bridge, doing the Tour de Wii Sports Resort on your bike with your friends, running out of water, getting dehydrated. Very realistic detail they didn't have to include. Dehydration, important lesson to the children. Playing golf, playing table tennis, 3-on-3 basketball. All big, giant, wonderful actions you can take with friends on Wahoo Island in Wii Sports Resort, the eternal capital of sport. That would be my closing.
Wow.
I really like how I didn't know the hydration thing. That's a pretty
cool.
Your face turns blue and you start crying.
no way.
God.
Yeah,
And then that because I'm like, why would they add that?
water.
But it's like, yeah, it teaches
It's
kids to drink
important.
water. That's huge.
Basketball kids know how to play basketball. They don't know
They don't know how to
how
drink
to do
water.
miles long bike rides.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's crazy is I you know how they say that people look so old in footage, like old time, like, oh, that person's like 30 years old and looks like a 40-year-old or like a 50-year-old. Like people just looked older back in the day. Some speculators because no one ever drank water.
Huh.
And like when they did, they would like drink it so rarely.
Huh.
Yeah. And we're just like a really hydrated
We're just better,
generation. Yeah.
I'd buy that.
That's why people anyway.
No, I see it. I see it.
So
It's
shout
a
out.
good plug for water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plug for water.
Drink it. It's good.
Drink it. It's good. Yes. Tastes wet. Ooh, second time spilling this episode. All right. The winner of this one is Myles. The winner of this
Fair.
one is Myles.
Accept.
Fair.
Yeah, I thought that was great, and I cannot help but wonder if so I've never played Wii Sports Resort, only regular Wii Sports. The way you described the resort, I feel like I was taken there, rather vivid, and I couldn't help but wonder if they would ever do a White Lotus season set at Wii Sports Resort at Wahoo Island.
I don't think it's called that.
in the canon maybe.
In the canon of right now, this conversation.
I also feel like I was visualizing it so vividly, and I feel like because I never played that game, but I feel like in my mind I just see like what you're describing strangely.
It's pretty fire.
Yeah, I need to check it out. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, we gotta get our hands on a Wii.
We do,
I got a Wii.
and we got the fucking Wii. This screen for the Wii.
It's almost
crazy.
Would be too good for the Wii.
I realized I have access to a Wii. I'll get us a Wii.
You could get us a Wii.
Yeah, I got a Wii in my hometown. I'll tell you, no one's using it. I'll take a
maybe
Wii.
get us an Xbox. Maybe this unemployment.
Scarsdale, no, right nearby there. Yeah.
No, I don't play games. I just don't play games. I get a Wii and do socially, like have people over, like
It's good to have for Mario Kart. People like it when you whip out Mario Kart.
it's a great whip out.
Yeah.
Oh, we should get Mario Kart. on
Mario
the Wii.
Party. That's a great
Yeah.
whip out.
Games used to be so social. Now it's so isolating. It's like you're over the screen. Anywho.
Yeah.
Sure. I think we got time for one more debate.
Do we have time for one more debate?
We do, yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, I see. I clicked on here. I remember when this came out. This was a Netflix original movie called Girlfriend's Day, starring him as the lead, and it seemed like it was like I remember it catching my interest at the time, and then just hearing that people didn't like it. So I never saw it.
It's an Odenkirk film.
Yeah, Odenkirk in the lead.
Let's go, Bob.
And the premise was kind of like odd and
Girlfriend's
interesting.
Day.
You know. Okay.
Shout out Girlfriend's Day.
So we actually have a fun special category that has just been selected.
Oh my goodness.
So you are both gonna be debating in favor of a ship of your choice, because it was same category and ship, so sort of an apples to apples debate.
Oh goodness.
We
Yeah.
must pick a ship.
I don't know
We
if
must
I'm ready.
each pick a different ship and say why it's better than this other ship.
Yes,
huh?
but take
Yeah.
some time to think about it, because I think ship can be, is it a relationship? Is it a
right, sure.
spaceship? Is it a boat? Is it a couple? Is it a, it's really, it could be many things, and I could vamp all day about it.
I think the best ship is a ship with just the most unique design. and it's a one that like immediately grabs your attention. Like that's a great ship, and I think my opponent here, I know what he's planning. I know what he's planning. He's gonna get into why the ship that he's chosen is such a great name. I'll tell you, names aren't everything. Anyway, I'm going to be arguing in favor of Boba Fett's ship, Slave One.
Oh no. Okay. Facts.
Names aren't everything.
Yeah.
Names aren't everything.
Great choice.
What a design. I feel like that's the name, or that's one of the names in Star Wars. I think
that is.
Okay.
I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
Man, that's so lit.
Slave One
Crazy choice.
is the best ship I could even imagine. It's so fucking cool looking. So he like the ship like flies like vertically. It's a crazy ass ship. I love the design. And like I've never like so like Star Wars is a movie where like every ship is like the best like ship you've ever seen in all of media. Yeah. Better than the fucking Titanic or I almost chose the ship they fly around on in Futurama, but I couldn't really remember the name, and I was like, well, that's kind of disqualifying enough,
Yeah.
Like it has to have a good name, but it can't have like a too good a name, So I think it has to be memorable at the very least. It's the best in all of Star Wars, and that movie's full of great ships.
Mm-hmm.
And I yield my time.
I'm actually, before you start making false accusations against me, I agree that name isn't everything. In fact, in some cases, I think it's not anything. That's why the ship I will be arguing for is an untitled ship. It is your boat from the song Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I think this is the epitome of classic ship. Everyone knows this ship from the moment you know how to speak. You know about this ship. It is your boat. No matter who you are, where you're from, it is yours. Your boat. And what a beautiful picture. Gently you're rowing this boat down the stream. Life is but a dream. Oh my God. Telling that to a 3-year-old or telling that to a 23-year-old conjures up the same just like joy about life that this little boat can bring you. Oh my God. Row your boat gently.
That's really beautiful. And no, I think that was a really great argument. But I do see like it's a bit of a flaw in it. If we know one thing about your boat, is that it's not a ship, it's a boat. It's so specifically one thing. All we know about it, literally all we know about the object that's being rowed in the story, because everything else is about the setting. Literally the only thing we know about the object itself is that it is a boat. And, so it's hard to talk about ships when you talk about a boat like that. Whereas, like, that's what they talk about everything that they fly around in Star Wars. It's that's my ship. It's a ship. Mm-hmm. Slave One is a ship.
Slave One is a ship, yeah.
Slave One is a ship. My boat, we know one thing about it, and that is it's not. It's a boat.
Would you say the Titanic was not a boat?
I think the Titanic was such a big boat, it became a ship.
Interesting. I would consider it both a boat and a ship.
Yeah. So are you saying that your boat could perhaps be the Titanic or a Titanic-like ship?
We don't know anything about my ship.
Oh, now we're calling it a ship. Notice how the language has changed. Folks at home, notice how the language has changed.
I don't want to put a quantifiable size on ship. I think that is fruitless. I think as Jack in his wonderfully phrased intro put it, ship can kind of be anything. A ship can be two people, two lovers. It can be as big as Disney cruise line with thousands of people on it. There is no one size fits all. So I would say your boat is a ship if you'd like it to be.
Okay. What about two little flies in a tin can floating down the river?
Mm-hmm.
That a ship? We ready to call that a ship?
Two little flies, tin can floating down the river. Yeah, I'd say it's a fly ship. Little tin can ship.
Curses! Fuck! Oh, jeez. I think that's preposterous. I'll just say it.
Let's get into some of Slave One's design flaws.
I'm ready. I'm ready. The flaws. I see talents. I see pluses.
I think in a couple critical scenes in the Star Wars films, Slave One and Django's ship, which I don't think is the same ship, but has the same absurd rotating concept.
Is that the Mandalorian design?
Is it inherited?
I think it's the same.
It's an inherited. It would make sense, you know.
I kind of think we got it in for this case of the argument. I kind of think it's the same thing.
does
I'm looking at them
Django
both right
fly
now.
It's the exact same ship. I'm pretty sure it's just inherited, which is cool too, because it's like an antique in the Star Wars universe. I think that's pretty cool.
What was your take going to be though?
There's a couple key scenes where either Boba or Django's trying to get away, and instead of, such as in the Millennium Falcon, being able to go, whoosh, they've got to go, whoosh. Those critical seconds are what allow, in many cases, them to be caught by their enemies. I just think that it slows things down in an unnecessary way.
But once you're in space, you're cruising.
Once you're in the space, you can't see what's like the majority of what's behind, above, below, or to the left or right of you. You're looking straight ahead.
Yeah, you got screens. You got screens. You got like inner screens and such. It's like ways. Well, you got ways. You got like ways.
You've got space ways.
Yeah, like ways.
Okay.
Or like Google Maps.
Google Maps.
If that's your pleasure. I mean, you know, it's just there's navigation. There's onboard navigation. I'm sure of it.
Sure. Yeah. I just think there's a lot of wasted space in Slave One because you've got the cockpit, which rotates, of course.
Yeah.
That means every other part of the ship, either you got to strap whatever there's in, or it's falling a pretty far distance when you take off.
Well, no, because the cockpit rotates, so you would only place items in the cockpit. The rest of it is being used to like power the ship. You don't need that. That stuff is meant to be rotated.
But in the Millennium Falcon, you've got corridors, you've got bedrooms. You can't have that in Slave One.
No. It's tight quarters because it's like a car more than anything.
But there's ships that are compact that don't have all of this unnecessary design.
Well, what's you call unnecessary, I call stylish. I think it's very stylish. I think it's trim. I think it's epic. Frankly, I think it's what makes Boba Fett so cool.
So I'm looking at a design of it right now, and it looks like there's like the main cockpit, and there's like one of the room with like trucker beds. But it's cool. I don't know, Matt. I mean, I can pass this y'all's way if you want to both take a look to kind of.
Yeah,
let's take a look at the blueprint.
This is sort of like the canon, like one of those books with all the ships in it, you know?
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, okay, so it's like pretty big in there, actually.
It is pretty big, and all of that space that is in the cockpit, like, well, what can you put there?
What do you mean? In those rooms, you hang things up. You like stick them to walls with Velcro. I think, you know, these are semantics. People make it work.
I think,
you know, how can someone live in a tiny home? Like they figure it out.
I don't want to deduct style points, but I think style to the dissurface of utility, especially in a universe where you've got to make a lot of quick getaways. You've probably got a lot of shit. I mean, you're a fucking you're an astronaut. Like you need food, you need clothes. I don't want all that just banging around because I've got to take off.
Well, you're failing to mention. You remember, like, this is the Star Wars universe. No one has ever taken a shower. These are the stinkiest people you've ever seen.
Do they shower in Star Wars?
No, they all stink. I'm sure of it.
No, I think Princess Leia smells good.
I think Padme smells really good.
Queen Amidala smells pretty good.
Well, yeah, sure. Like the pretty princesses all smell good, but everyone else. Disgusting.
I think Palpatine probably smells good.
I don't think
think
Palpatine
Chewbacca
does.
smells fantastic.
I think maybe
I
Count
disagree. I
Dooku
think
smells
Chewbacca
good.
smells
I think
horrible.
Chewbacca smells
think-
like
I think-
nothing you've ever smelled before.
Probably like actual like shit, like
I
animal
bet
shit.
Yoda has no smell because he's like kind of like a lizard, you know? Like what a lizard smell like? Like not bad.
But I think
He's
like
a lizard.
I think Sidious smells like horrible, like kind of like a rubbery, like old people smell. But I think Count Dooku smells good.
Oh, I bet Count Dooku smells
Dooku
good.
has his own cologne, I
Yeah.
believe.
Oh yes,
He manufactures.
I think Count Dooku smells like the best. Like if we're doing like a tier list of how the cast of Star Wars smells,
Count
Count
Dooku's
Dooku-
up there.
Yeah.
Count Dooku is a very good smelling.
Boss Nass is
Yeah.
up there.
Oh yeah. He's but Jar Jar reeks.
So I was
That's
about to
why
say
they
the
kicked him
Gungan.
out.
Well, you know, if you're a Gungan, you're like a fish man, right? So like
No.
you just smell like fish.
I think
after a
in
while?
water you smell really good.
Well, I think if you try to
and then
smell
out of
underwater,
water.
you die.
Well, they're in an air bubble underwater.
Oh,
so,
that's right. They got the air bubble.
Right.
so really, it being underwater doesn't matter at all. But yeah, no, Luke stinks. Han Solo like reeks. They're like those are the stinkiest people. Like they're so much stinkier than anyone you've ever met.
Hmm.
And what was the point of all this?
So this was the transition into closing statements. I'm ready to hear a closing statement from both of y'all.
Okay. You know,
Yeah. If you any other takes of characters where they say like Grievous probably smells like rust and like gross flesh or something like.
yeah,
probably
Grievous
gross,
smells
he
like
smells
burnt,
bad,
like burnt
like
rubber.
oil.
But I feel like you
or
got to
something.
be close just to get smell him. You know.
Yeah,
I think he
yeah,
probably
yeah.
doesn't smell too
He
bad.
doesn't have that much flesh left. It's like his
I think
eye sockets.
Obi-Wan, I think
Ooh.
probably smells kind of sweaty, but I think he wears the robe so much you probably can't smell. But like when he derobes, it's probably like
Whoa.
you enter like the locker
Yeah.
room at the gym. It's like
Yeah, I think Watto doesn't smell good. I think Watto smells really bad. But I think the Nemoidians smell like fine.
oh Dee I think Jawas don't have a smell.
The Jawas, I couldn't even imagine what a Jawa smells like. I imagine like Jawas smell like a little furry animal, like a little bit bad, but only in that way. Like
But what's under that?
like it smells
I
like
don't-
litter.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm about to find and unmask the Jawa. Wait, can we do closing statements as well?
Yeah.
Oh, we do know, and it is, folks. It is not what you think.
Oh my
What,
god.
like a lizard guy.
It's a lizard guy.
it's always a fucking lizard guy with Star
All right,
Wars.
We're backing it up. No, basically, you know.
Can you just flash it over our way?
I
Let's see,
really like this middle
let's
image
see
where the
what's under
cursor is too.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, good lord.
Oh god.
Uh,
No.
I think the Obi-Wan reaction image in the middle of the screen where he's like,
Oh my god. Ugh. But I do stand by how they smell. I do think they smell like a little they smell like a dog or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Keep the hood up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just
Jeez.
like, Jesus
In
Christ.
closing-
Yeah, go ahead, Miles. Rip it.
In closing, I think I didn't really get to talk much about your boat because the mechanics of Slave One are just so awful. It's all I could think about. But in closing, merrily, we my boat, row your boat, as they say, gently down the stream. Merrily, life is but a dream. 4 very short sentences. That's all the lore that's needed. You know, we talk about Boba Fett being kind of this mystery character. We actually know way more about him than we know about row your boat. And I think it's that not knowing that makes it such an epic vessel. Yes, vessel. Yes, ship. Yes, boat. Yes, little, but always yours. It can be whatever you want it to be. And for me, it is the best ship that has ever sailed the 7 streams.
I think I've already made my case for why I like Slave One is an amazing ship. It has an awesome design. It's operated by the coolest guy ever. Names don't matter. You know, and it is efficient. So efficient use of space. And I'm gonna talk about that right now. Let's talk about row your boat line by line. Row your boat. So you know, you say it could be anything. It could be any sort of like ship or vessel. Like, okay, what about like a Ford F50, Ford 1 F50? What about a fucking speedboat? What about something that you don't have to row? So it really isn't so universal as you claim. It sounds to me like it's actually really specific, and actually that it is that it has to be a boat. because it's if it's so specific, then it is what it says it is. There's no reading between the lines here. It's a boat, not a ship. Gently down the stream. Okay, that's fine. Merrily, 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 merrily. This is mind control, folks. This is mind control. Merrily convince you that you're happy with whatever is going down right here. And this you arguing in favor of this sinister poem is not okay. And life is but a dream. Horrific, horrifying. That nightmarish life is but a dream. All of this is but for naught. That's so spooky and scary and just like mind altering. This guy's trying to get you all hooked on drugs. It's really it's terrible. And you talk about like bad like efficiency and use of space. I think it's bad use of space in this little children's poem to fill it up with this sort of this is such an insane mind-blowing concept. It's going to make kids freaked out. It's going to give them anxiety attacks. That's why kids these days, they're so anxious because they're thinking that like everything around them might be a dream at all times. Because they watched like a video on lucid dreaming and then like tried to, and it just like fucked up all their shit up.
Wait, that's such a good like character justification. Like, I tried to lucid dream in 8th grade, and now I'm fucking twisted.
And if life is but a dream, then I want to hop off this boat. I yield my time.
Wow, folks, really splendid stuff. And I think you had a great choice because hard to criticize your boat. It's your boat, how do you get around that? And Matt, I think Slave One has many issues. We give it to Myles.
It makes perfect sense.
But I'm writing down, dude, who tried to lucid dream in 8th grade. That's someone.
Oh man. Well, this has been a quite, I was about to say quite equal episode of Apples and Oranges. Jack, did you win your debate or no?
I didn't, but in my head canon, I'm like, I won that debate. Like,
okay,
I'm the head hundo. I win. I'm always winning. So
yeah,
I was gonna say, like, I was looking at it and I was like, it's the most balanced. It's like everyone got L's, everyone got dubs.
True.
Yeah.
Except for right, because you
No, but I'm a hundo. I always get dubs no matter what. So.
Right. This has been a very equal episode of Apples and Oranges.
That's good.
Yeah. Another equal one in the books. Another W for, let's say, democracy, but that's not really what that means. This has been Apples and Oranges, folks.
Yeah, wait, Myles, do you want to plug anything? This is going to come out a week from this Friday.
A week from this Friday?
Yeah.
April. Coming very soon.
Yeah.
To a calendar near you.
Excellent. And we're also, I'll plug the our verticals.
Yeah, we're gonna be posting verticals. Posting verticals.
Yeah, vertical style content coming to a phone screen near you on Matt and Jack Comedy on a TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah, we've got a live show perhaps coming up April 1st.
April 1st also. Got a show coming up. So
open mic from the 70s around the corner always.
So come on out, folks.
All sorts of stuff in the works right now.
That's right. Myles,
wonderful.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This has been awesome.
This has been great. Well, this concludes another episode of Apples and Oranges. So long, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.